So here's what we're gonna look at today. I wanted to do this and I just had a mental breakdown and forgot to do this. We have, so this says mid-season preview. I'm not sure if that means that this is coming this season or next season. Do we know exactly when this update is dropping? Because it's mid-season now, so this could just be saying this is coming this season. All right, well, whenever this drops, there's a big weapon balance in the latest TWAB, and I just want to look at some of the weapons that I will have ready. So first thing, the huge thing, auto rifles, 25% buff. ARs are about to get the Omega juice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring over some ARs that I am gonna have my eye closely on when this updates, and we'll look at the rolls that I have and whatnot. See what we got here. So here's all the ARs that I have currently. So I think, to me, 720s have just always been the best AR. This dates all the way back to D1 year one, Valakadian. Yes, it is pronounced Valakadian. We did massive hours of research on the like root of the word, because I know people called it like Valakadin. I thought Valakadin sounded the best, but then we found like pronunciation. It's Valakadian. Everyone knows that. It's basically one of these viced ones. But it's these 720 ARs. I think 720s are still going to be king, closely followed by 600s. I do love 600s, but this is my only crate that I have, and this is going to be this thing's actually pretty decent. This has flared magwell, subsistence, and headstone. Yeah, so this is like the closest thing to what Valakadian was, but I really like the way that viced ARs feel. I think they feel beautiful. I think they have good stability. I think they have good general reload speed. So I would hold on to any, like, you know, we used to get these a lot when Witch Queen dropped, so I would hold on to any crates that you have. So this is a brand new one. This is from the raid, Root of Nightmares, or Ron. I was lucky enough to get a really good drop on this. I was lucky enough to get Reconstruction. Now, Reconstruction, I think, is really good for ARs, because it gives you a huge magazine, and it's a very interesting take on like reload perks. So it just keeps funneling ammo into your mag as you're shooting it. And I was lucky enough to get this with ricochet rounds as well. But this is another 720, and it's strand, so it has possibilities with the strand subclass. And if next season's artifact does have a lot of strand stuff based around it, here you go. But this thing is insane. You can see the magazine on this with Reconstruction. But I will definitely have this ready. For sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, you can craft this as well. I just don't have this crafted yet. You can see the ricochet rounds are really nice. It's a laser beam. Yeah, 720s just feel really good. For their high rate of fire, they're actually surprisingly stable. It's Chroma Rush, the OG, bro. We all know about Chroma Rush. I forget what season this dropped, but I have a really good Chroma Rush as well. I may as well just put, I think I'm gonna put the Accurized on this, give it a little bit of extra range, for sure. But I got Subsistence and Rampage on the Chroma Rush. I always liked the way that this gun looked. And this is another 720. This is just a straight kinetic. But I think this thing's going to be really strong as well. The Go. This was Season of the Splicer. Hell yeah. Chroma Rush. I feel like we're going to see this gun a lot, because this was kind of like a fan. This is a fan favorite. Okay, so that takes care of all the 720s and the kinetic. Let's look at some of the 600s. So I think the second best type of AR are going to be 600s. This is another new one. Now, I don't see myself ever using Perpetualis over Rufus's Fury, just because I do favor 720s. However, I do think that this gun is interesting because I have a hatchling roll on it. I think you can actually roll this one for hatchling as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think all the ARs that are strand. I'm not going over exotics. I'm only going over legendaries. So this is another one to check out. But I do like 600s. But as you'll hear me continue to say, I think the 720s are going to be the juicers. 600s run out a lot quicker and it doesn't spit as much. And then we have this. Now I do love this thing. Subsistence and Frenzy. This thing is actually a beast. It's a dope gun. As you can see, I used this for a little bit. There's a couple kills on it. Nothing crazy. More kills than my Chroma Rush, actually. So this will definitely be my go-to 600 kinetic weapon. And the fact that it has ricochet is nice. Do these, can you actually bounce these from plate to plate, I wonder? This thing feels nice. Smooth shooter. And it looks cool. I like the way these weapons look. Okay, we went over that. 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 Okay, so now let's look at some of the energies. So we have guns from every burn here. Now, when it comes to arc, this is 100% going to be my juicer. This is my baby. This is the Feeding Frenzy arc logic. I remember when I got this dropped, I was super sick. I think I was like grinding, what, the moon or some shit. Duty bound. I don't have any good duty bounds. Yeah, but this thing's going to be the hotness. Because this season, we know that Void is the preferred element in the subclass, but next season I don't think we're gonna see Void again. It's probably gonna be Arc or Solar. So you want to make sure that you have some gun. Sounds great. Yeah, it does. It sounds like heavy. Sounds like it's putting out some deeps. Let's just look at our Void. So I have a Rampage Subsistence Gnawing Hunger, and I have a Rampage Overflow Gnawing Hunger. Now, as you can tell by the 7,500 kills on this one, I definitely prefer the Rampage Overflow. I think this is actually the OG curated role, right? I think, isn't it? This one has a little bit better range on it. What's the range on this one? Oh, wow. That one is 68 range. That one is 48. That is the curated role. That's interesting, though, because this one has a way better... This one has significantly better range. Almost like 50% more. So I'm going to keep both. But Gnawing Hunger is fantastic. I mean, some of you have probably been using this season already. This gun is really good. I just like Overflow. This is actually a very good gun to use this season if you haven't already. And then I have this one as well, which I have... a couple thousand kills on it. This one does have way better range though, so we will peep it out. That covers Void and then Solar. So I'll start with the shitty one first. This was one that I crafted only because it can roll incandescent, and when I was able to craft this, I wanted an AR with incandescent. Now my theory is, since they gave us like volatile flow, I think they're going to give us something for whenever they do Solar, something that buffs like incandescent. Like, imagine if it, I don't know, maybe something new. Could be as simple as picking up an orb gives increased incandescent spread or something with Scorch, or I don't know. It'd be interesting. But I do fucking hate 450s though. This archetype is fucking horrible in my opinion. And I also don't like Amalon ARs. I'm not a huge fan of some Amalon guns in general. So this thing will kind of be like a last resort if I ever need it. I love Amalon. I'm not a huge fan. To me, it's, I don't know. We'll see. But 450s are definitely whack, so I probably won't use that much. And I'll probably use this baby. The Summoner. Yeah. So I got this. I forget what season I got this. But I'll probably keep Rampage and Perpetual Motion on that. I also like Light Mag. Light Mag is nice. This will most likely be my go-to. The freaking sight on this thing sucks. This thing does hit pretty hard. Looks like a Nerf gun. Sweet Sorrow is a 720. Yeah, I don't have that. Once again, I'm only going over what I have. I don't have everything. So this is kind of like a review of the things that I have. But yeah, those are the ARs that I'm going to be checking out. For sure. Okay, so we have a pulse rifle and hand cannon and sidearm buff coming. So ARs are getting the biggest buff at 25%. Pulse rifles, hand cannons, and sidearms are getting a 20% buff. So let's see what these babies are. Boom. So I think as far as sidearms go, I think this one is actually pretty good, and Paracausal Affinity is a very good perk as well. This is unless it's been changed recently. When I tested this, it was a 20% buff, but this is from the new raid. Yes, the infamous Glockenballs. I think if you have one of these though, hold on to it. All right, and then this thing, Brigand's Law. I actually like this roll a lot. Hipfire and Volt Shot. This thing is gonna be a fucking beast. Volt Shot is a very strong perk. So this will most likely be my go-to. I don't have a Solar Sidearm, unfortunately. At least a legendary one. But these are getting a 20% buff. And all these buffs apply to exotics as well. Okay, let's take a look at some of the hand cannons that I have. All right, so the hand cannons that I'm gonna probably be using. I mean, obviously Fatebringer, right? Fatebringer is an OG. It's a classic. Fatebringer is definitely a thing. We have True Prophecy. This is a gun that I got, but I haven't really used that much. But I got an Overflow timed payload. And I actually think timed payload is pretty strong. Like, you significantly notice it. I know it's a 120, but it is a classic. And then the other one that I'll be using is I have this DFA. This DFA has Perpetual Motion, timed payload, and Outlaw. So I do have a couple different things that I can do here. I forget where this even came from. But here's another. This is going to be a 140 time payload, which I'll probably use over True Prophecy. Rufus's Fury is going to go hard. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with... Let's get rid of this. Let's start with solar hand cannons. So there's 2 solar hand cannons. I have a 120 and a 140. So this is my igneous hammer. Hi, Cal. I'm going to use that for the reload speed. I have rapid hit and rampage with a reload speed masterwork. This is actually, I like this roll a lot. This is a juicer. Igneous does look nice. I do like the way that it looks. And then we have the other solar is this one. So this gun struggles from feeling a little bit clunky at times, but I think the best thing to do with this gun is to just stack as much reload speed as possible. I got lucky enough to get incandescent, explosive payload, flared, and reload masterwork, but you can craft this as well, right? So I will be using this for the 140. This thing does tend to feel clunky though sometimes. Well, I mean, to be fair though, this reload is not bad. This is without any sort of reload mods too. I don't have any loaders on. If we go to arc, I have 2 arcs. I love this gun. You can tell, 36,000 kills. I use this gun a lot during low mans and stuff. This is the curated roll. I love Nation of Beasts. Nation of Beasts is a banger. I think it's funny how the gun sounds like you're smacking a bag of like sand. Listen to it. It's like you're like flicking a sand boob. You have trust now too? I don't have a trust, unfortunately. And then the other arc one is this one, which I haven't used at all yet, but I did get. I don't like any of these, but we do have a rapid hit time payload arc cantata. As you can tell, I like time payload. It's fun. That garden hand cannon sounds like a potato gun. I deleted it. I hate the garden hand cannon. I'm not a fan. Can trust get incandescent? I think it can. And then I have 2 void hand cannons. So I got this one dropped. I think this was actually the first bottom dollar I ever got. And this has Outlaw Rampage on it. So, you know, ye old classic roll. But it, you know, it's a 120. So it is what it is. And then I just rolled for these last week for trials. I'm only keeping this because it's a void hand cannon with repulsor brace. It's pretty much the only reason I have it. And then I have this one, which rolled with Outlaw and Rampage, which is, you know, the classic roll. No pally? I don't have a pally. I do not have a pally. And then that's all the hand cannons that I have. And then the... All right, pulse rifles. Pulse rifles are also getting this 20% damage buff. So that's pretty significant. This does apply to exotics as well. This is my favorite kinetic pulse rifle. I guess I haven't even used it that much, but I think this might have been the one that dropped from the season pass. But this thing actually shreds. And it's a good gun in Crucible. And then the other pulse rifle is Smiter Moraine. I did craft this one. I thought it was cool that you could put stats for all and one for all on this weapon. So I will have this beast ready to go for something that hits a little bit harder. Damn, this has an aggressive like left kick to it, doesn't it? Look at that. Oh my gosh. What's the vertical? What is the vertical recoil direction? 70. Oof. That's kind of bad. What is this one? 68. Oh. That one just kind of jumps, dude. I might have to mess with that though. Is there something that gives me more vertical? Give it arrowhead? Let me go check that out real quick. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, good shit. Dude, the other one was like going off the side of the plate. All right, cool. That's nice. All right, other pulse rifles that I have as far as arc goes. This thing, dude. Oh my, I remember this thing. Subsistence one for all, darkest before. I've had so many iterations of this gun in the past. This thing spits. Yeah, that was way better for sure. Definitely put arrowhead on your crafted smite. And then I just got this one. So this is a pretty interesting roll. Volt shot. This is a volt shot AR. I just got, or sorry, pulse rifle. I just got this one this season. I like it. It's a slow firing one, but you know, it'll get the job done. I don't have any void pulse rifles, actually. I just noticed that. Unfortunate. As far as solar pulse rifles go, I have 2 of the BRs. I have Adrenaline, Perpetual Motion, and Incandescent Outlaw. I'll probably the Grid Skipper. I'll probably use this one more than anything. And then if I don't want that funky ass scope, I have the Ogma, which I have 1,000,001 versions of this gun. I did at one point. The Ogma. But Perpetual Motion, Adrenaline Junkie on that. Okay, and then snipers. Oh, I guess I didn't do scouts, huh? I mean, scouts, whatever. Don't have to talk about scouts. Scouts are getting the least amount buff. I mean, what do you really need to know about scouts, right? What does scout rifle come down to? Scout rifle comes down to, do you own a night watch and a vouchsafe? And a tarnished metal and a trusty staccato? Yeah, I was looking at 200s. I think 200s are definitely the sweet spot. If I had to talk about any scouts, it would be, I have a night watch with rapid hit rampage. I like the 200s. The 180s are a little slow, and the 260s can sometimes go a little bit more burr. And then I have a tarnished metal with 4th times the charm and volt shot. That's crazy. This thing's gonna be a beast. Oh my god, the sight on this thing. Yeah, that'll be a really good gun. And then this is a vouchsafe. This is what I've been using this season. Rapid hit explosive. Gotta love the vouch, dude. So snipers. Snipers are getting, what was it? This is the last thing I want to talk about. Snipers are getting increased total ammunition. We're getting 30% more reserves for snipers, and they're reducing the recoil by 50%. But mainly the reserves thing is what's important for PvE. Obviously, I'm a PvE head, so I'm talking more about that. Rapid fire frames, right? I think the 2 that I have, these are both rapid fire. Yep. So this one and this one. These will be the one. These are pretty much the only ones that I actually have. So I have a triple tap supremacy. And then I have a high impact round, 4th times the charm. Ikilos. Ikilos. Snipers will be the meta. So these are going to get a 30% increase in reserve. So you'll be able to spam a lot more shots off. Mouse and keyboard, I gotta like reposition my hand all the way at the top. That reminds me of the days back with Whisper, when I would literally have to like put my hand all the way at the top of my mouse pad and like slowly bring it down. But yeah, chat, that's pretty much, I just wanted to show you guys what I am gonna look out for next season, stuff that I have in my vault. Obviously, I'm not sitting here covering, this isn't like a guide where I'm covering everything to farm for. I'm just showing you what I'll be using, because these are pretty substantial buffs. I mean, AR is getting a 25% buff, and pulses and hand cannons and sidearms getting a 20% buff is fucking huge. Those are like the biggest things. And then the 30% reserves on these will give a lot more sustained damage for 140s. Mid-season patch. Yeah, I don't know exactly when it drops, but I like that subs are not changing. I agree, because I think ARs will shine a little bit now, because submachine guns you pretty much are just throwing if you're not using an SMG a lot of the cases. Yuppers. All right, that's pretty much all I wanted to do. That's it. We're just gonna put this up on YouTube. I just wanted to show people. A lot of people are very interested in like what I have in my vault and stuff like that. So this video is to showcase what I'll be using whenever this update drops this season and next season, and whatever the burn is, whether it's arc or void or solar or strand or stasis, to show you like what I'll be pretty much checking out. Yeah, I'm excited though. I'm most excited for the ARs, because I do like when ARs feel really strong. I'm definitely a precision guy, so I prefer things like hand cannons, but if ARs feel really good, then I have no issue swapping them. Plus ARs haven't been meta for a while. I feel like the last time ARs were meta was when like the void gnawing hunger. That was like the last time that I remember like them being insane. But there's tons of guns that you guys have that I probably don't, and I'm excited to check out ARs and mess around with my Chroma Rush, and particularly the new guy, the Rufus. This will probably be one of the first ones I use. I like this gun.